In the bottom right side, we got ourselves a blue Terran player. He is fighting for a different team right now. I believe it is... Is it Team NV as well? Was it Team NV that picked him up? It is, yeah. He's fighting for Team NV. He is MARU. The top left side, we got a red Protoss. Fighting for Team Liquid. He is HARSTEM. He is getting a single proxy barracks, similar as what we saw happening for Bjorn, of course. Where's my Christmas hat? Oh, I had to throw it away. It broke. I tried to put it onto, well, I think it was an elephant, something else, and apparently the size of the thing was too big and it broke. So I need to get myself a different center hat if I want to do something like that. Alright, so... Oh, Foxer, thank you for the follow as well. So, by the way, we had another one. There's no Matcherino here. It's, the X-Files is just the replay. So we're watching HARSTEM versus MARU here now from the ASUS ROG tournament. Also, let's see. Tos Prism, thank you for the follow as well. I'm not sure if I called you out or not, but yeah, it's much appreciated anyway. Don't know if you're still here. Just angry at me not having shouted or giving you a shout out, and then just you know, you're gone. Makes a lot of sense, right? So 2 players, 2 proxies, 2 sides of the map. As the Reaper. Reaper should be, you know, able to get at least 1 or 2 probe kills. There we go, that's 1. The Adept is available right now, so MARU not gonna continue onwards with the harassment. Alright, fair enough. Backs up. Stargate proxy here. Gonna start off a Void Ray. A Void Ray? A Void Ray? Was not anticipating a Void Ray here. MARU already making a Cyclone. That should work out very well for him. And also the starports on the way. Guess he doesn't have a lot of Marines available, but just the lone Cyclone here should be enough, right? Oh, straight up afterwards a Phoenix. I really like that as well. MARU going for the Mach Field Accelerators, the upgrade for the Pew Pew cannons on the Cyclone. And that is actually in quite a bit of trouble. Quickly starts up another one of the Cyclones before he loses the Tech Lab here. Tries to get the repair going as well. The Void Ray, a crucial thing here to try and take that out. The lock-ons are a bit much though. There's the first initial Phoenix, so now he can actually get rid of the Cyclone here. There we go. Only a single Marine available, of course, for MARU here to help this out. And now, MARU's not going to be able to help out the Tech Lab anymore. We have another Phoenix on the way, right? That is about to arrive. There it is. Okay, so we should be able to pick that Cyclone up as well. It's fairly safe territory to do so. But I guess he just doesn't want to risk it unless if the Void Ray is actually in trouble. Now there's the barracks, the main thing that was necessary here, I suppose, to really help facilitate a victory here for MARU, in order to keep Marines on the field. Even a shield battery here being created by HARSTEM. Alright, alright. Vikings now in production also. It's interesting that he goes for just a single Void Ray, right? Just one, nothing more, nothing less. Just a single Void Ray. That's all you need. Reaper heading back to the scouting places, checking to see what HARSTEM's next plan is. HARSTEM not really committing any further onto the aggression here. I mean, he has his Nexus on the way. He's got himself another Stargate on the way. It's an interesting take on the Void Ray initial aggression here. He never managed to get that Tech Lab either, right? So that was a big deal there for Maru. Maybe HARSTEM would have been more likely to press his advantage or press his luck if he did manage to get that Cyclone upgrade. Actually gonna go into mass Phoenix production here, I would say, right? That is what it's looking like. Are we gonna get ourselves a couple of air weapon upgrades immediately as well with this? Would be something. MARU already on Viking Cyclone production though, overall. You would assume that is gonna be a difficult thing to deal with just pure Phoenix. Interesting. Okay, HARSTEM seeing... actually not seeing the base there. Seeing the Marines there, though. That's already quite something. Okay, so... HARSTEM keeping it very well hidden that he has all these Phoenixes now. Suddenly on the map. I don't think MARU really realized. He didn't even see the second Stargate. So, this is quite a surprise that the number of Phoenixes is actually this high. Oh, just barely managing to unlock himself from those Cyclones. Gotta be careful with the Phoenixes. Rowboat Bay slammed down as well now. So far, the Phoenix surprised it. Coming as a bit of a surprise, and it does seem like it's keeping MARU on his toes in his own base, right? He's not being proactive. He's keeping MARU kind of very defensive here, and I think that's a good way of approaching this because if you allow MARU to just get super aggressive, if you allow him to do his thing, continue to obtain value just with his multitasking and micro, then that could be a big problem. Now, instead of all of that, we're seeing MARU more so kind of orientated towards the defenses, and HARSTEM being the person that decides the tempo of this game right now. MARU getting himself another base as well, though, as HARSTEM still has to get that third base. There we go. Does manage to start it now. Having enough money in the bank here. MARU still being quite defensively. Stim and +1 are about to finish up here. We're going to see any upgrades or just singular upgrades here. There's the air weapon upgrades as well. No fleet beacon just quite yet. So, I mean, HARSTEM, he is going to maintain this fleet of Phoenixes, hopefully. And try to utilize that as best to his capabilities. But, oh wow, actually immediately just at the moment when MARU's like, alright, let me try to make something happen here. The Phoenixes come back in and they just pull everything back. Every single Terran unit here coming back. They have to deal with this type of stuff. Even trying to get a bit of a flank going in order to shut off the retreats here. But HARSTEM, of course, keeping track on the movements in between the bases here with this one observer. Very well placed. Capable of realizing where he should and shouldn't go. Look at this. Again here, seeing the Cyclones, the Marines, the Vikings, all of it. Coming into the main base, realizing that this is a safe place right now. Can keep tabs on the minimap here. Sees that nothing's really coming towards the natural. So he's going to stick more around the main base here. And alright, well, actually just going to skadoodle on out of there through the bottom side. Still making more Phoenixes, isn't he? 10 right now. At least I believe this is a newly made Phoenix right here. That did just come off of the assembly line. Still no fleet beacon. It's just Phoenix and Colossi for the time being. So he's going to be a lot better in a position to try and counteract this Marine army, I suppose. Oh, those siege tanks getting massive shots right now. Some great connections there. Alright, pickups onto a couple of Cyclones. There's the stim committed by MARU. HARSTEM is having a rough time here. Holding his ground. MARU with some very solid army supply. Even going to throw down the missile turrets. That's a great call. Those missile turrets are just going to keep shooting the Phoenixes. Whose goal it is to just lift up those siege tanks, of course, here. Wow, even able to keep locking on to one of those Colossi here and get it taken out. Alright, getting ready for this fight here. It's going to be a very rough one. HARSTEM wants to poke away as much as possible with those Colossi. Wants to get maybe another warp in around anything here. Because the battle is looking rather rough. More and more missile turrets are being constructed here though. And more reinforcements for MARU is also being sent in. There we go. The Phoenixes, they lift up some of the siege tanks there. But not quite managed to get on top of all of them. There we go. But it's too little, too late. And too much there for MARU to really deal with. So yeah, HARSTEM has to tap out 1-0 here in favor for MARU. MARU showcasing that he's still is pretty darn good, right? Still pretty darn good. So game number 1 kind of going the way you would anticipate, right? I suppose between these two. I don't mean to be rude. I know that HARSTEM, you know, fantastic bloody player, but I mean, you would always anticipate MARU to just have the upper hand in things. Let's see, can I see when these were played? Yes, I can. Nice, lovely. All right, Pillars of Gold is going to be map number 2. Why am I frozen? Okay, there we go. I'm back. Why am I frozen? What's going on here? Game number 2. I'm just waiting for it to load in. I know a lot of stuff is about to happen here. Alright, from Team Liquid, it's the red Protoss. He is the Dutchman, HARSTEM. Ooh, MARU. MARU coming out with the good luck, good luck. In the top right side, there he is, the blue Terran. Fighting for Team Envy, he is MARU. The newly acquired blue Terran there. Already 1 point on the board. Nothing out of the ordinary just quite yet. But we know it will not end with just MARU getting a clean sweep here. No sir, no sir indeed. So yeah, it's all up to HARSTEM right now. Needs to find a way to counteract the immense overwhelming power that MARU always brings into the StarCraft 2 battlefield here. HARSTEM gets the scouts. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing proxy this time around. Now, HARSTEM still has the opportunity to go for a proxy himself, of course. Is he going to... I don't know. Looks like a more straight up defensive play this time around. Probe recommitting for the scouts. Sees the command center. Happy enough to go back now. Knows that there's not much time before a Reaper will make its appearance, or a Marine will. Marine already on the high ground there. Does not know how to outrun a probe though, so the probe a bit safer against the Marine than against the Reaper, of course, but still. But still, wise choice not to just march up there. Alright, Stargate play once again here from HARSTEM. It's not proxied this time around. Now, are we going to see another attempt at the Phoenix play that we saw previously? I mean, there definitely were a lot of good things about it, right? We definitely saw MARU kind of struggling, trying to get out of his base, having a rough time to counteract these Phoenixes that were very well being microed by HARSTEM, scooting around the map continuously, trying to find value. Now, they didn't find too much value, but on their own already, being able to keep the sorry, I'm getting distracted by a reindeer being licked by his centaur right now. That's a bit weird. All right. Anyway, Trovo emotes, they are quite something. Anyway, what was this? Yeah, the Phoenixes, they couldn't quite find the value other than just keeping MARU in his base, right? But then MARU, he never lost any units. He never really lost any economy. So, after all was said and done with the Phoenixes, MARU just kind of waltzed across the map and set up shop, had so much stuff where the Phoenixes just did not have an appropriate response for. That's MARU just managed to take the fight right then and there. Could have turned out differently, of course. Could have definitely turned out differently. But yeah, that's kind of what happened there. Guess every single StarCraft 2 game could turn out differently, to be fair. But yeah, it did feel like HARSTEM had a pretty reasonable shot there to get some real damage dealt with those Phoenixes, but just couldn't quite barely find his way past the defenses of MARU. Alright, there we go, that's one. That's two. Decided, you know what, I probably should keep picking up units here. Oh, even finds the mule there. A bit surprised that MARU just threw that down. He has another Graviton, what's it called? Graviton pool? I don't know. The lift ability. The elevator play. That's the real elevator play. That's a dead Phoenix right there. Sees a lot of Marines coming across. Very aggressive build here for MARU, actually. HARSTEM. I mean, with the Phoenix, this could be difficult to deal with, but, well, let's take a look and see. Siege Tank getting some great AoE. The Widowmine also actually getting some good damage. The Phoenix is still on the back side of things. Trying to figure out what they exactly want to do. Trying to find more reinforcements, it looks like. Not a bad call. Needs to start lifting something up here. There we go. Siege Tank, probably the best call. HARSTEM microing two fronts right now with the Phoenix and, of course, the front side here. Shield battery overcharge helping out quite a bit. As HARSTEM is starting to clean up a little bit here, right? Phoenix is still on the backside as well. All three of them still alive. Does manage to shoot down the medevac as well. And yeah, MARU's attack is a bit dead right now. It looks like he is already realizing this himself. Starts up plan B. Goes for another command center. And I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks around here. Yeah, there we go. Moves back right now. Alright. The three barracks. Probably going to make a bit of a switch into the more heavy, relying onto the Marauders here. The best tool against any Protoss. Siege tank still on the run. Like HARSTEM, trying to just get any bit of value that he can here. Making full use of his mobility. Run down the opponents when they're trying to retreat. That's when you get the best trades going, guys. And those are the first lessons of Genghis Khan. Always try to force your opponent to retreat and then take the fight. It's the best and easiest way to avoid casualties on your own side. Another lesson is always give your opponent a window of opportunity. Even though you've placed it there artificially, it's not really there. Make it look like you're not quite entirely have your opponent surrounded. Always give them one way out, and then ensure that that one way out is the way where you want them to go. You'll lead them there, and you'll have an easy time shutting it down. We sometimes see this in StarCraft 2 as well, right? Where there's then suddenly just a disruptor in the backside of an army as they're moving backwards. We've seen it happen with Infestus as well. A Terran army just kind of trying to start a step backwards against the Zerg, and then suddenly there's just 3 Infestus behind them. Fungals right on top of everything, and yeah, just when they think, alright, we can still move away, then all of a sudden that is the death sentence having gone there overall on its own. Anyway, regardless, enough Mongolian war strategies and stuff. Let's take a look at what is going on with the push through the middle. The Phoenixes, they have been quite active with the scouting. So once again here, finding this quite early on. And we'll be able to get on top of the units, trying to reinforce this. And MARU actually immediately moving backwards right now. Realizing, you know what, that's probably not what I want to be doing here. Because I am losing a lot of units. And again here, just losing every unit that is moving towards HARSTEM's base. And MARU seems a bit perplexed. He doesn't quite know what he wants to be doing here. Does he want to deal with the Phoenixes? Does he not want to deal with the Phoenixes? Does he want to just go for the offensive? Or does he not want to go for the defensive? Even now, right, at this moment, it looks like he is being indecisive, moving back and forth, splitting up his units, having his Marines on the backside, I suppose, does help against those Phoenixes, but it's still a weird one, isn't it? It seemed like he almost wanted to move them all the way back to the base instead. And, oh no, those Marines. The Marines now all on their lonesome, getting shot down rather quickly by the beautiful force field there from HARSTEM. HARSTEM comes in here, lifts up absolutely everything. And the rest of the bio units are going to get slain as well. No chance to put up those missile turrets this time. Missile turrets attacking the Colossi here, actually. Okay, no, hold up. MARU still stands? What? Okay, okay. Was not anticipating this. Was not anticipating this at all whatsoever. Cybercore maybe getting slain here, but we already have the a fleet beacon here, don't we? We do. He's getting Phoenix range, and he's getting another Stargate. So interesting, interesting. I mean, the Phoenixes here are. They are doing so much with just denying the reinforcements, right? That's such a good way to deal with this. HARSTEM really showcasing why he's been able to do so well so far in this tournament. I suppose this was still in the group stage, though. But yeah, he's having a whale of a time here with these Phoenixes. Again here. Getting on top of these very valuable units. And perhaps this Phoenix style is a good way to punish the Terrans for having gone so heavily out of favor with the Marines in PvT. A lot of people just are more likely to make the Marauders now, or you know, something else entirely, because, well, the Phoenix not really the best tool here against Terran just because of the Marine. But yeah, if the Terran goes more heavily into Marauders, then that entire equation is upside down, and you can reassess the situation here. And HARSTEM definitely doing this and making, well, showing us that these Phoenixes, they are definitely worth getting, worth investing into. As long as you make sure that you are continuously gaining value from them. That's exactly what he's trying to do. Phoenixes roaming around again here, going for the mineral line, and not even going to attempt to. Fair enough, fair enough. I too would rather be afraid of suddenly a MARU army just being on my doorstep. Actually, he's going to commit to the army units instead. Very interesting. Targeting down Vikings there, that is very important, right? He knows the Vikings are the main tool against his carriers, so if he keeps those Viking numbers low, then this could work out very well for him. It's rather brilliant, actually. Not giving up too much time of his Phoenixes there to deal with the SCVs, and right here now as well, baiting a big clump of Marines straight into his Colossi firepower here. Quite something else. HARSTEM doing a wonderful job here. MARU, he is actually behind on the army supply. Let's take a look at how this overall traded. Yeah, that is an insane amount of efficiency from HARSTEM. Very cool. HARSTEM's type of playstyle does seem to have the weakness of not being all too swell against the Marines, of course. Really, only the Colossi are good against the Marines in this composition, but I mean, it's easier then to just have a couple of siege tanks, so still just barely enough Marauders to deal with those, and then just go mainly onto the Marines. Here we are, though, another fight. Carriers are dealing the damage and then just kind of backing off again. This base could be in quite a bit of trouble. HARSTEM gonna go for it. Should be able to get that killed off. Killed off, I should say, destroyed, of course. As HARSTEM still chilling on 4 bases himself here. Should not try to finish the game off just quite yet. That would be a mistake, I feel like, but he's finding a lot of opportunities here. He's scanning a lot of valuable targets with those interceptors. The interceptor's not that important, right? You can replenish them for a fair, cheap price. MARU now 30 army supply behind. The siege tanks were on siege, but HARSTEM not going to try to commit just quite yet. The carriers, they are running dry out of interceptors. That's a good disruptor shot, though. The Colossi is still shooting strong, and the Phoenixes are still here as well, so they should be able to pick up some of the more useful units. No. It's just not barely working out here. Marines need to be found out. There's not that many Marines left, actually. The Ghosts are not that plentiful either. This is a weird battle here. A couple of Ghosts and a couple of Marines shooting down 5 carriers because, well, the interceptor count is so incredibly low. Right, nice done there. Nicely done there by HARSTEM. Still finding a little bit of value. Oh, whoa, ho, ho. Come to mama. HARSTEM's just deciding, you know what? Screw it. Screw it. I don't need this disruptor necessarily. I need to use some Hail Marys here, perhaps. Let me just try this. Let's just try it, see how it goes. If it doesn't work, oh well. It's kind of the nice thing about playing against somebody that is considered to be way above you in skill. I say way above you, but just regularly, like, a clear favorite against you, right? You don't get the pressure of being like, alright, well, if I make a dumb move, then, you know, I lose, and people are going to laugh at me for losing against this person. No, people understand that you're going to lose against this person, because everybody loses against this person. And now, because of this, you're going to be able to just kind of be more relaxed and casual about how you use these disruptor shots and all that stuff, right? That's a big recall. Single carrier and a disruptor go down. That is rough. That is rough. This base here on the top left side, sorry, at the 9 o'clock, should be picked off momentarily, I would say. And let's see if the carriers here will be enough. Actually, yeah, it could be enough. Let's see. Close your eyes. Give me your man, Harlan. Do you see the Marines bleeding? GG! Very well played there by HARSTEM. Really loving the style that he kind of went for there. Very, very cool stuff. Very cool stuff indeed. Alright, guys, I hope you will excuse me. I'm going to quickly grab a bit of water, because my throat is getting a bit dry right now. Actually, I do have a smidge, but it's not enough. It's not enough, alright? I'll be right back, and then afterwards we'll continue onwards with the conclusion of this. Shouldn't be too long, alright? Just a couple of seconds, really, and then I'll be back. See you soon.
I feel like Bjorn is taking so many blows. 28 workers is not the worker count you can really realistically recover from, right? There's not really much Bjorn can do other than just go for it. He is the kind of player who can just go for it. He can definitely try and make it happen. I mean, you can see he's doing his best. Maybe he'll get to the hatchery, but Ragnarok comes in. Any trade he takes is gonna be a good one, and I feel like Bjorn is having to tap out here. It's so frustrating. He gotta come so close to it. Marine's getting chomped on the flanks, and actually Bjorn not doing too bad for himself there.
Once again, he manages to kill these ultras, get past them, get on top of the Ravagers. It's just crazy how Bjorn is hanging by a thread for the past like 2 minutes and a half. And he's just not dying. He has like 2k gas in the bank. He has nowhere to spend it, and he's just refusing to die. But the economy difference is just way too big. Oh, he kills the hatchery.
Yeah, as we say that, the hatchery goes down, and now there's not really many mineral patches. The Vipers actually, nah, they're not gonna suck the hatchery dry. But like you said, Bjorn is hanging from a thread, but that thread is made of spider silk, which is 10 times stronger than ordinary steel. Aegon, and Bjorn is not going down without a fight. He's gonna go and load up a medevac, and I think we have almost an even game on our hands, right? I mean, arm supply is actually favoring Bjorn. Wait a minute.
Like, if Ragnarok keeps on suiciding his army into the ones of Bjorn, well, yes, then we do it. Like, his Vipers, where the heck are they going? Vipers in the middle of everything, getting blinding clouds, Ultra still surviving, getting finally again in the economy of Bjorn. On the other side of the map, there's a big fight, and Bjorn.
Alright, nice. Already back. Promised it wouldn't be long, and here I am, ready to, once again, shout about video games to you. Give you the rundown. And the things I find interesting, I suppose, watching these games develop, alright? So, we're tied up. Baby! In the top left side, we got a red Protoss player fighting for Team Liquid. He is HARSTEM. Bottom right side, the blue Terran player fighting for Team Envy. He is MARU. Alright, again going with the proxy. Did help, well, I suppose help win the first game? At least the first game he proxied. Game 1 he did win. Then the second game he didn't proxy, and that's the one he lost. So, you know what, with that systematic way of thinking, we'll just assume that this is going to be the right choice here. HARSTEM already finding this out, though. He's going to get this bro right on top of the SCV. I did not anticipate this bro to still be able to get himself in between the barracks and the dead space there. But yeah, apparently he did, and apparently this is going to be very rough here for MARU. This SCV in a lot of trouble. He's having a lot of luck with the SCV overall, but that's about as far as he can get. Another SCV had to be called in to take over the construction of the barracks, and he's going to be trying to repair this other SCV. He knows he needs to finish up this barracks already, starting up another one, actually. Yeah. Imagine that, being quicker done with the one that started this much later. Almost there. With the production, this one's still halfway. Alright, well, at least this was incredibly delayed, right? So HARSTEM now should have enough time to get himself a Stalker or an Adept, whichever he decides, out on the field before the Reaper actually arrives. So that's a big deal. That is a big deal. It will avoid him a probe loss, even though it did cost him quite a bit of initial mining here, right? With the 2 probes on the barracks. There's that Reaper now. And yeah. Will not find that much success. The Adept here doing a good job of zoning him out. No way to retreat. Down he goes. Another Reaper will be making his appearance here. And let's see what he actually got to see after all. Not that much. So, looking for another opportunity elsewhere. Single probe does fall still. It's not the worst. By the way, triple base here coming down for MARU. Very quick third. Should be another dead Reaper here. Trying to lose the ghost, but yeah. There's no running away from your Christmas past. That is just always going to haunt you. The Christmas future that you have to worry about as soon as that Adept comes in. Actually, it's a real Adept instead of just a ghost Adept. Robo facility on the way as well. Getting the Phoenix play here from HARSTEM, right? Has been serving him well so far against MARU. MARU does seem to be struggling a little bit against it. Does seem to just go against the grain for him, right? The overall way that he approaches the matchup. We do see a lot more Cyclones being constructed this time for MARU. And actually another factory gets thrown down. Okay, so he is committed now to the mech. The mech play. Alright. Interesting. Very interesting, actually. So, how is that going to work out? I suppose that Thors, right? They do pretty darn good against these types of Phoenix harassment types of things. The Cyclones should do okay. Vikings should do okay. It's an interesting one. But if HARSTEM discovers that this is going to be mech, then what's his response going to be? Is he going to just try and tack up quicker into Tempest, Carriers, something like this? Or, yeah, like what? How is he really supposed to then counteract this? Because you're not gonna commit as much to the gateway and the robo units anymore, right? Maybe Disruptor's still. Disruptor's still very strong against the mech play, of course. The Zealots, I suppose, also still pretty darn good. I don't know. I'm open to learning here. Still getting the Colossi, I think, you know, that's okay. Maybe. Would prefer to see Disruptors against Siege Tanks and such, but against Cyclones, right? If we have a heavy Cyclone army, should do okay. HARSTEM trying to scoot around the left side. Trying to still find that harassment damage. With MARU building and constructing more and more of the heavy tech artillery here on the ground. Look at that, 2 more factories coming into play. Get that gas as quickly as possible. Okay, so HARSTEM here going for a 4th base. Maybe that is a way that he wants to get to combat this. Just be a bit more greedy than his opponents. MARU, it's very difficult for him to be aggressive right now, right? A very flimsy army. It has a very low rate of fire, just because of the siege tanks kind of being the main source here. The Cyclones, they just lock onto one unit and then they're kind of out of juice. And then you have the Hellions. I suppose the Hellions work well against Zealots overall, but that's about it. That is about it. So like a big battle right now most likely won't go into MARU's favor. Just because he's set up defensively here, he's got infrastructure around him, making it a lot easier to defend. That's kind of what's keeping him alive right now. But starting to get aggressive with this, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work. Alright, well, he's starting to get aggressive with it. Typical MARU. Typical MARU. Always out there trying to prove me wrong about everything, huh? Bringing a couple of SCVs for the right as well. Disruptor and some smaller units here. Ooh. Nice disruptor shot. Mine. Careful. Sorry, I'm just looking at this right now, being like, okay, what in the world is gonna happen? Oh, that's a good shot as well. It's just a micro battle right now with those disruptors. Quite something. The Phoenixes, of course, also still part of the equation here. The Cyclones need to deal with those. The Widowmines as well, I suppose. But really, the disruptors right now being the MVPs. Ooh. Yeah, Cyclones don't seem to be really able to get rid of the disruptors in time. A couple of the Cyclones now being picked up. That's nice. As carriers are entering the field here, I think that with the carriers, that should be the end of this location for MARU here, right? There's only 2 of them, I suppose. So maybe he will still be able to make this work. Wow, disruptors are tanky. Very awkward game here. More and more missile turrets going down. MARU just wants to maintain a foothold here and keep dealing the damage against his opponents. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Oh, I guess only now he has Mag Fuel Accelerator. So yeah, the Cyclone damage should just be going up very quickly right now. Can't believe he didn't have it for such a long period of time here. Okay, so let's take a look at the numbers right now. So only 3 carriers, only 4 disruptors. Does seem like both players are just continuously trying to get some sort of value here, right? Whether it be with the Cyclones looking onto something or the disruptors. It's like seeing 2 fishermen trying to fish one another. Really. You know, they're on opposite side of the lakes, and instead of throwing their rod in the lake, they're just continuing to try and throw their fishing line towards the other person. Apparently a bit of ping there in between the series. That's unfortunate. It does feel like HARSTEM is in a lot of trouble here, huh? How's the income looking like? Let's see. Oh, that looks... okay. HARSTEM's being so patient, though, as well with this, right? Very impressive. This is a problem, though. That is quite the problem. Ooh, 13 probes. That's a lot of probes. I think the Phoenixes are gone now as well. Yeah, they are. No longer part of the equation here. Cyclones now freed up to target disruptors or carriers, if they do so desire. A lot of Widow Mines here. Also, could be dangerous with interceptors, of course. They do lock onto interceptors, and then you can get yourself quite a bit of friendly fire going. That's exactly what HARSTEM is going for. Look at that, actually. Oh, those Widow Mine hits. That is massive for HARSTEM. He's gonna send in more of these interceptors. Let's see if he gets more of those Widow Mines. He's trying not to lose all of the interceptors here too quickly, but it's actually microing the interceptors here by targeting different places, trying to bait the pull the Widow Mine shots into the rest of the army of MARU here. Very cool stuff. You don't see that all too often. Oh, just barely not getting the shot up there. On the 9 o'clock here, bit of a run by as well. Maybe a bit of a overpull from HARSTEM. Does this give MARU an opportunity here to push forwards? Yes, it does. Big lock onto the Nexus. Should be able to get it, right? Don't see any reason why he wouldn't. There we go. Shut down. Easy peasy. Oh. Okay. Now it's the dead man zone again. Yo ho ho and a dead man zone. Alright, another attempt of the cancel does make another happen, actually. Man, I'm loving these small batches of interceptors being sent out. So small, and yet so incredibly strong in these types of situations. This is all we're watching right now, guys. This is just everything we get to see. This fortification here for MARU is starting to get rather ridiculous. Great anti-armor missile. Trying to set off those Widow Mines again. Okay, just gonna go for it. Oh, that's a lot of interceptors. It's not that many Widow Mines anymore, though, so he will actually clean this up right now. He does have 11 carriers after all, so this is quite the scary display of force. Getting all these Vikings as well, or at least most of them. That is massive. The Cyclones weren't with the battle. And that did come to cost MARU here a little bit, it seems. Alright, more Widow Mines do manage to hold the door and keep the middle ground secure. More missile turrets being built. So HARSTEM with his scary army is just growing and growing in size. Disruptors and the carriers, I mean, it is quite the style to play. Lock-ons here onto the disruptors now, definitely doing quite a bit better than they did before. Very short window of opportunity here for those disruptors to actually make anything happen. There's the interceptors now from the carriers entering the fray as well. Missile turrets go down with such an incredible speed here because of the +2. Cyclone Micro becomes more and more difficult here because of those interceptors. You are not allowed to do the autocast any longer. It's gonna send the Cyclones away towards the 12 o'clock, maybe anticipating a base here. There is none though, so we'll be going towards the third base. That is a bit open, although there are 3 carriers here apparently. Is that going to be enough? Maybe with the shield battery overcharge it will be, in fact. That is quite the catch. Alright, that's this would be quite the catch as well. I would love to have just one single Colossi continuously trying to get rid of all those SCVs or a disruptor. Uh-oh. HARSTEM losing most of his carriers right now. Finally finding those SCVs right here. Need to get those disruptor shots going. Still zoning away those, whatever he can, the cyclones. Okay, this is the scary moment in time. Recall has been forced and gets 2 units out? Only 2? It's not a lot anyway. Now this is the big deal, right? HARSTEM has, what is it? Almost 6 bases here. 6 bases in total. One of them is fully mined out. The other one almost mined out. But you know what? He's still mining. And MARU, on the other hand, he doesn't even have a main base anymore. He's floated over his natural as well. Both trying to get to these other 2 bases. He knows he's in dire straits. He needs to get more money. And he needs to get it now. HARSTEM gonna have a lot of an easier time remaxing his army. Even though it's carriers, right? Carriers take such a long time to build. HARSTEM's still gonna have an easier time to get back to 200 supply. And an attack on the 200 supply mark, that could be devastating here for MARU. As he is still trying to recuperate, still trying to replenish up to a supply of, well, 150. And he's not even capable of getting to max supply because he lost too many supply depots. Okay, does almost one-shot the carriers there. Was one Viking too short to shoot the second one as well. Quite a bunch of cyclones here. Again, getting that Nexus, but quite a lot of those cyclones should be able to get caught up to as well. Ah, no blink forward there. Alright, I understand. There's no blink available. Can't do a blink when you don't have it, do you? Can you? You cannot. Oh my. Viking numbers here just being so incredibly strong. I really do believe that. Maybe having some High Templar here for the Storm wouldn't be the worst idea. I mean, how many Vikings is this? This is every single Viking. 18 of them. A single Storm and... Ugh. You're forcing MARU to split. All those Vikings. Gonna be a lot harder to single shoot a carrier. The one-shot wonder not gonna be as easy to do. Another lock onto a Nexus here. Again, no blink to jump forwards and get himself onto a good position here. So another Nexus does fall. Does he not have a Twilight Council? He does, right? Yeah, he does. I mean, he's making the High Templar Archives right now. He's just refusing to get himself blink. And charge as well, actually. Like, every single upgrade that he's getting is for the air weapons. And the air army shielding. So that is all he's going for. MARU, quite the terrifying army here. Moving closer and closer to the final mining bases of HARSTEM. We're starting to recreate this one, so might force MARU to back up a little bit, try to deal with this again. Now we'll just continue forwards. Here we go. Phoenix is trying to get rid of this army right now. The one in front. The siege tanks finding a lot of fire onto those disruptors though. So a lot of them do fall. Storm is coming up. Storm will be created here. Very much appreciate that. I think that will be helping him out quite a bit. The stock is not quite sure what they want to be doing here. Finding not much in particular. HARSTEM, is he falling apart here in the later parts of this game? Very well, maybe. More siege tanks being built. MARU taking proper control of the right side of the map right now. And has a short distance to push into these two newly established bases. Or, well, the bases that attempting to be newly established. Picking up all the cyclones in order to avoid the lock-ons here. Now coming in with disruptors. Oh, he lost so many disruptors right there. He lost so many disruptors. HARSTEM, he is losing bases left, right, and center here. Still has a scary army, I suppose, but it is looking rather rough. He may be in the territory right now where he needs to start relying onto one big, massive engagement here. Just grab everything together, try to force the fight, just have a battle with your opponents right here, right now. There he goes. Alright, Phoenix is first coming in. Looking for the fight. He has High Templar, so he has the Storm. Right, Storm going to be incredibly important to try and combat those Vikings, but will he be able to? The Phoenix also, of course, want to try and tank damage from those Vikings. It's a lot of overshooting if all the Vikings target the same Phoenix here. So that would be a great benefit. Alright, in comes HARSTEM with his army. Rotates around way past the missile turrets. Getting on top of the mining bases here. Two command centers do fall. Another one a little bit further to the top right. High Templar. Ooh, High Templar. Oh, the cloak on the mothership there. Almost being able to save it, but not quite being enough. That command center most likely will be burning down. And actually, no, the repairs coming in. The Phoenixes now have to stay on top of it. And it's back up to full again. Alright, MARU still mining on that top right, of course, as is being shown by the camera right there as well. This base does still fall though. MARU losing SCVs and is trying to take this fight here, which I'm not entirely sure if he should or not. Struggling to find the damage onto the mothership or the carriers here to one-shot them with the Vikings. Definitely struggling as he is being pushed further and further back. But HARSTEM, he's losing bases. He's been losing bases for a while now. He's attempting to set up again on the top side, but immediately Hellions are just there. HARSTEM needs to find a way to shut out the final bit of mining that is still happening for either of them. In the top right side there, right? MARU's still going strong with this economy here. Right, good lift up. Yeah, this is scary. I'm not sure if HARSTEM is allowed to be sitting back now, right? Does he not know about this other base? Oh, he just doesn't know. Oh, he just doesn't know. Oh, that is so rough. He needs to find out. He needs to get over there. Roaming around, seeing an SCV come from that angle. There we go. Finally gets the heads up. Finally gets the memo. Wait a moment. I have an opponent here. In the top right side. That is already been quite heavily mined, it looks like. Looking at the mineral clusters. It's a rough one. Phoenix is picking everything up. There's another attempt at destroying the economy here of HARSTEM. I say attempt, but man, he's doing one hell of a job at it. Transforming into a single hellbat there. It's like, alright, I'll take out the Nexus guys. You go find more probes. Just leave me to it. HARSTEM is struggling. He's struggling so hard to keep his economy going. But he did manage to shut down the entire economy of MARU here as well. And I suppose MARU is he's investing a lot of his resources that he still has available, being the Hellions and such, onto onto harassment, trying to shut down the overall economy of HARSTEM even further. When I'm not entirely certain that is what's necessary here, right? Maybe at this point in time, if you want to do the if you want to deny the bases, maybe you have to just push with everything, because you're not mining a lot yourself either. And every unit here is worth so much right now. You need to get value from them. 14 to 16 workers. At least that is something he did manage to do. He managed to keep that worker count of HARSTEM very, very low. Okay, here we go. A battle of monstrosities. Who will be able to take the crown here? Phoenix is moving forward slightly. There's a Thor underneath as well, and a heck of a lot of Vikings in the sky. That's a lot of damage though, isn't it? Here comes the Vikings trying to target down whatever they can. Need some good proper targeting. Staying on top of the Oracle there. I believe that was an attempt at the life of a carrier, but not quite being enough here. Wonderful micro overall from MARU. He's moving backwards. He's lost all his bases. HARSTEM is moving backwards. And GG is called. MARU taps out of there. Did not have any mining left. Did not feel like he had an opportunity to push out. And HARSTEM takes game number 3, putting himself onto match point. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? HARSTEM, that little Dutchman, being able to get himself a 2-1 score versus MARU here. And yeah, if this was the best of 3, that would be it. That would be it, right? Let's see. Let's see what happens in the next one, of course. I mean, it is still MARU after all that he is playing against. So, will he be able to? Will he be able to get one more victory here? I don't know. Well, I kind of know. But yeah, we'll have to take a look, of course. Sorry. A little bit tired. Long night yesterday. Best of 5. Here we go. Probably can't believe that he's one game behind right now. He's the Korean. He's in the blue. He's Terran from Team NV. MARU. Top right side, the red Brodels player. He's fighting for Team Liquid. He is HARSTEM. See what HARSTEM will be able to bring to the table this time around. More Phoenix play I wouldn't be opposed to. Is MARU gonna try again his hand with the mech play? It did feel like a little bit of a gamble. And he did run into a brick wall. Right? He never seemed to be able to keep pushing further and further forwards. Maybe it would have been a bit more doable if he managed to get, maybe, I don't know actually, right? Because the Widow Mines seem to just hurt him more so than actually benefit him in those situations. So I'm not sure if the Widow Mines are the way to go. What else would you get though instead of Widow Mines? Would you get Liberators? Because the Disruptors were a little bit of a problem there, right? Disruptors continuously just kind of shooting their Disruptive Nova and taking care of all your missile turrets. The Cyclones had a rough time pushing forwards. Maybe with a bit of a Cyclone and Siege Tank kind of maneuvering forwards. Maybe that would be a bit better. I don't know actually. I really do not know. The Widow Mines though in that specific moment felt like they were just getting bullied by the Interceptors, right? A couple of Interceptors flying in. They were going absolutely everywhere above the entire Terran army. And, well, the Terran army was just like, uh-oh, well, I guess we're gonna shoot our own men now. And yeah, a lot of damage was sustained by MARU continuously with those Widow Mines interacting with the interceptors as they did. So unless if you retarget them continuously, unburrow them whenever necessary, but there's so much overall micro to do in those big battles that I'm not so certain that that's a reasonable request. Right, Reaper managed to get out of there. Now coming back in for the scout. Knows that it's the starport once again. Knows he has to start prepping for this starport. Would assume that he's kind of familiar with the style that HARSTEM is doing here now, right? So we should really be seeing him mixing in some other stuff. He's gone for a quick third command center again here, so it must mean that he feels comfortable that in the feeling that he will be able to get away with this, right? Phoenix harassment, not something that's gonna kill off a lot of your army or a lot of your structures and such, right? Really there just to kind of poke and prod, try and get rid of any type of SCV. Two assimilators on the natural. Alright. Alright. MARU going a bit of a Beyond style here with the triple barracks. Moving across with a lot of those Marines. I think this is a really good call. It's going to make it quite difficult for the Phoenix opening here to really hold its own. Marines come in. They do have stim. Could very well be a cancel on the Nexus. Normally Beyond would go for the units instead of the base, but MARU here, alright, stimming ahead, thinking that he should be able to get it here. Or at least the fight should not be too far removed. And in fact, you know what, HARSTEM deals with this very nicely here. Gets rid of those Marines before they actually do any real hull damage. Actually, any hull damage, right? Still on 1000 HP here. MARU strikes a little bit, but not really being able to achieve a hit. A strike, but a miss. Whiffing that shot right there. It did seem like a smart play, though, overall, right? Against the Phoenixes, they should do pretty darn well, I would imagine, but just wasn't meant to be or something. Phoenix into the Colossi again here from HARSTEM. Very standard play overall, but I have to say what's really putting him apart is how well he's using all these Phoenixes as well. Like, every single time, whenever MARU's moving out, these Phoenixes are ready to intercept whatever they... Oh, that is unfortunate. Oh, well. 1 HP. But yeah, every single time, these Phoenixes are just here, chilling, looking around, roaming the vicinity, trying to see what's up. MARU trying to put up a bit of a trap as well. Not quite being able to get any of those Phoenixes, unfortunately. Would have been cool to see. Always cool to see people kind of running into places where they shouldn't be and suddenly being punished by their opponents. Or while the anticipation of somebody realizing, alright, the movement of the units should be ending up right about here, even though they don't see the units anymore, of course, and then just kind of bang straight up underneath them all of a sudden. Right, Maru, wave number 2. Bringing in a lot of Marauders this time around. That Marauder should have been dead. Still kicking, though. He's going to get healed up. Now we have 7 Marauders here instead of 6, so... Very nice, very nice. HARSTEM has a really good force here. I don't think this is going to be winnable here for Maru. It's going to be very rough if he does try to, but... With the 2 Colossus and the sentries there as well. Yeah, no way that's going to go in his favor. No stealth detection though, that's a problem. That is definitely a problem. Ooh, careful with those Phoenix. Counter-attack here, coming in for HARSTEM perhaps. Seeing that he has the upper hand in the army, so... Gonna try to press his luck here. 2 Widow Mines, unburrowed, moving further forwards. Gonna go for the 2 mineral lines, the 3rd and the natural. So far, not quite any response just yet. HARSTEM, okay, does put down a cannon in both of the mineral lines. That's still reasonable. 3 probes. The Zealots here with the Starkers and the Colossi trying their best to get rid of these units here as well. But, oh, that is quite the concave that Maru did manage to establish here. Good force fields, making it a little bit smaller. And the units on the left side kind of getting squished as well. So, in the end, there wasn't much left out of the concave, but... Still felt like it was going all right there for the Terran. Let's see, Maru. It's a lot of Marauders here, but I mean that's a lot of Phoenixes as well. Immediately picking them all up. The Marauders still stacked on top of one another, still in a bit of a line here. You want to try and make those vertical lines instead of horizontal lines. You are looking with the perspective of the Colossi, of course, above. Try and make sure that you take the least amount of splash that is possible. Only 2 Colossi remaining here with still a fairly large army of Stalkers. Oh, but there we go. There's a nice split. 2 packs of units. Now stimming forward with those Marauders, getting underneath the Colossi, and that is what you need to do. GG is called. HARSTEM taps out, losing that army there. That was quite the blow. And yeah, Maru ties up the series here. Maybe overextending a little bit there with the attack. Did HARSTEM getting surrounded there in the final seconds or the final moments in that game really did come to cost him. Very unfortunate, but you know what? That means that we get to have another game. So no real reason to be upset about that. Le voter. Futon. Is that not what they... Futon is a couch. But I don't know. I thought that was also... Maybe that's just like a certain type of water. I don't know. Wow, good job, Kozen. Thank you. In the top left side of the map, we got ourselves a blue Terran player. He is fighting for Team NV. Not for that long just quite yet, but he is MARU. His opponent in the red, he is fighting for Team Liquid. Having one hell of a series so far. Will he be able to squeeze it out? The final game here, he is HARSTEM. Making a little bit of a funky wall here. Perhaps saw Reapers jumping up there, or it's interesting. Maybe Hellions, less ease of access from here to here. Something like this. I don't know, it's rough to say. Those are the first reasons that a wall like this would come to my mind anyway. Alright. Proxy time, trying to hide what he's doing, what he's up to. Reaper Scout as well. Going the wrong way, not finding the proxy there. MARU already making a safety bunker. That is going to help out a little bit here. HARSTEM is actually going to try to do the Void Ray rush here. Once again, it very well may be the case. It's from a different angle, different location, but... Oh, the Reaper's going to scout this. No, yes, come on. Don't give up now. There you go. Right, he knows what's up. I think MARU should be able to hold his own against this, right? Should be able to. You would assume that MARU is capable of holding his own in these types of situations. He's making a bunker in his natural as well. That's a good call. Already realizing this could be a different area of attack here for HARSTEM. That's exactly where HARSTEM wanted to attack from. It's nice and close to his barracks as well, so easy access for those Marines. Should be good here. Should be good here for Mr. MARU so far. But maybe HARSTEM is going to be able to surprise us here with the Void Ray still. I mean, there's not that much on the field just quite yet. First supply depot already in a bit of trouble. The Void Ray very far removed though from the overall location where we will have those shield batteries taking place. Making another Void Ray right now. Not going for the Void Ray straight up into the Phoenix this time. Alright, defense so far has been pretty darn smooth. Getting 3 SCV kills here is a good start, I suppose. It's not the best thing I've ever seen, of course, but still fairly okay. Command center. Slowly being whittled down as well here. Still no shield batteries for Mr. HARSTEM. No shield batteries anywhere, actually. He's going to go for a Nexus instead. Across the field, so... Interesting. I mean, things were going pretty smooth so far. Although we do have the Vikings down the way as well. At which point this is going to start to run its course. This type of aggression. So yeah, HARSTEM still looking to go into the late game situation here. There we are. Good amount of damage from the Void Rays, but the bunker still stands. Another Cyclone does come in. Normally, if you were banking mostly on the Cyclone approach here, this would be a death sentence, right? Losing those Cyclones, but adding in the Vikings right now, it changes the entire metric here. Also, we don't have any shield batteries, right? It feels a bit ridiculous to say, but could HARSTEM have won this already if he did have shield batteries here? If he had that bit of extra pressure available? Because MARU, he is a little bit hurting here. MARU's definitely hurting. Instead, HARSTEM went for the second base. He's been mining off of the second base for a while now, so he's obtaining quite a bit of value from this already on its own, right? Even if he doesn't finish off MARU here, he's ahead on workers, he's got the second base saturated, and yeah, that means he's just gonna have twice as much money as MARU for now. At least, if you don't take the mules into consideration. So HARSTEM doing a really good job here at kind of pinning down his opponents and just making life a living hell for him. Gonna get on top of that expansion as well. HARSTEM surrenders that location there, of course. No real rhyme or reason to try and commit there for a fight that most likely is not going to go his way. Another pylon here will go down as well. HARSTEM actually quite supply blocked now because of this. 2 more pylons in production, but he was already supply blocked, so that's a bit of a bummer here. Kind of slowing down the overall advantage that he had and allowing MARU a bit more of a momentum to build up on of his own. May seem trivial, but things like this, they matter, guys. They definitely do. When you're ahead, you want to get further ahead, and actually getting supply blocked quite heavily like that can put you almost back into an equal setting, which is bothersome, right, for HARSTEM. It's not what he wants to have happen. Though he has been mining quite a bit. Well, actually, it's not that much, right? It's not for that long either. We'll have to wait and see. Single adapt at the front door for MARU here. Looking at what's going on. Would like to see some more shading happening, perhaps, but oh well. Keep tabs on the army composition of MARU here. What's he have? What's he going for? He knows about the 3rd base, I would assume. Oh, he doesn't even know about the 3rd base. Like, stuff like this, right? Valuable information can be obtained for free. It's going to use the hallucinated Phoenix instead. Also, another way to get this type of information for free, of course. With so many Phoenixes, still needs to use the hallucinated Phoenix. Yeah. Right, Adept goes down. I think he should assume that's a 3rd base, but he still has to verify, right? You have to. If this is like a 2-base attack coming in right now, HARSTEM could be in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have that much on the ground, and he would need to start making a lot of shield batteries, and he just doesn't know what he's supposed to do at this moment. He's making another shield battery over here at his 3rd. He's got one in his natural as well, so he can do some fair bit of ping-ponging back and forth between those 2 locations. But yeah, this is always the scary bit with a Phoenix-orientated army. That it could just be picked off by a big push straight through the middle. Gotta make sure not to lose too many of your reinforcements, of course, once again here by the Phoenixes. Which HARSTEM has proven to be very, very capable of doing. Okay, holding his own for now. Void Ray still in this location as well. Let's see this Marine. It's going to allow the Marine to have passageway towards the 4th base. It's not there yet anyway, right? But good thing to know for MARU. HARSTEM already trying to lower the Viking count here again. I'm not sure if that was a bluff, though. We're not seeing a fleet beacon or any type of air weapon upgrades this time around, so maybe he wants MARU to think that he's going for the carriers by trying to snipe off very aggressively the Vikings here, and then just have a force that is more so suited towards the ground, and then have the Vikings here kind of has loose supply. I mean, it's kind of working, right? We're seeing a lot of extra Vikings on the production tab. I would assume we're going to see some more here. Yeah, there you go. So that could be the case. That could be the case. Maybe the transition for HARSTEM here is going to be coming in a little bit later. Alright, targeting those Vikings once again. I mean, definitely making it look like he doesn't want the Vikings around, right? When in fact, if he goes for like more so Zealot, Archon type of army, then you would love to have a lot of Vikings around. Disruptors as well, of course. Delaying that 4th here a little bit. Just allow him to get his own a little bit quicker. The tiniest of margins. All Phoenixes floating around as MARU is just kind of chilling in his own base for the time being. Considering how this game opens up with HARSTEM having that second base so much earlier, this is very impressive here. So yeah, what in the world are you supposed to be doing right now as HARSTEM, right? That is the question. MARU is playing super defensively. I was thinking that he was going to be the aggressor here continuously, but I suppose the Phoenix is kind of nipping that in the butt. The only real thing that MARU can do is these more dedicated big attacks where he has a timing kind of coming up with the enhanced shockwaves here. Should be pretty good. And then HARSTEM just wants to meet this army in the field right now. We only have, how many Vikings? 7 Vikings. So MARU not quite falling for the fact that HARSTEM was wanting to make it look like he is just trying to get the Viking numbers as low as possible. I'm not sure if that was actually the attempt there. Oh, that is rough. That is very rough. Oh, that was on the edge as much as it could be. Nexus will fall. A lot of SCVs are going down as well, though. That's a lot of Zealots kind of target firing SCVs here. 18 of them already. But HARSTEM, of course, needed that 4th base. And MARU still holding this position here. Alright, HARSTEM. I think he just wants to try and get a fight going when the siege tanks are unsieged, right? I think that would be the main thing here. The siege tanks unsieged. That's what he needs to find right now. Good scan right here. And in we go. The Zealots already on top of the army. That was an alright engagement here for HARSTEM. Is it going to be enough, though? Good disruptors. Shots overall. It's reasonable, but... man, there was some great interference matrices there as well. Stark is getting on top of the siege tanks. More bio units are coming in, though. They are coming in from every which angle. The disruptors now pretty much the final bastion of hope here for HARSTEM. They need to get good shots. They really do not. And MARU now actually moving backwards. He doesn't have any medevacs. His unit's already kind of low, so he's like, alright, that's fine. I managed to kill off a lot of your expensive units. Let me just back up. Wait for me to get healed, and then I'll be ready to push in again with a advantage of actual supply instead of just supply advantage that is built on lies, because all my units are already half dead anyway. Right, 4th base for HARSTEM here. Probably the next targets. Single Zealot finds out what's going on here. See, disruptor shots. Nice. Okay, good dodge. Good splits. Good split there as well. That one getting shot down before it actually lands. That's a good one. Was it good enough? It's still quite a rough thing to see with the medevacs here. It's always a bit of a cluster heifer. There we go. Okay, more disruptors do go down, and yeah, HARSTEM taps out. Got down to the wire there, a couple of the final units, but MARU, of course, already having 5 bases here. HARSTEM losing another base right now would be catastrophic, so he decides to just kind of tap out. GG is called. MARU takes the final best of 5 here for the day. Very well played, very well done.